Hi everybody, my name is Melissa Manning and I'm looking forward to sharing my presentation about teacher evaluation. My presentation is based on the article Teacher Evaluation, Accountability, and Improving Teaching Practices by Stephen Huber and Guri Skedsmo, and it can be found in the Education Association for Evaluation and Accountability. Alright, so our objective today is that this presentation will help increase knowledge of teacher evaluation history, accountability, and research about improving teaching practices. The common theme for this presentation has seemed to be that the authors believe that continuous growth is an important, if not the most important, part of the evaluation instrument. And it helps to provide feedback and gain knowledge, and that will in turn help with student achievement. So if you could help provide me some feedback and help me continuously grow, if you could please follow this link and fill out the noticing and wondering form. If you could write down some things that you're noticing, maybe some questions that you have about the presentation or about evaluation systems, could write that down in the wondering form, and then sliding down, provide some feedback for me. And then at the end of the presentation, I'll have my email address, my email address will be linked at the end of the presentation. So again, your feedback is welcomed so that I can continuously grow as a professional. All right, going back, here we go. Time to evaluate, every teacher's favorite time of year. So this presentation is going to cover some historical perspectives on evaluation. Also, teachers matter and make a difference, but does the teacher evaluation? Very interesting question. Also, we'll be looking at some research articles and some challenges for research policy and practice. All right, so taking a look at the historical perspective, there has been a history of teachers being assessed by their supervisors, but the approach depends on the mandate of the state or the school district or even the school. And it also can depend on the expertise of the evaluator. Recent years in education have had that increased emphasis on accountability, and the same holds true for teacher evaluations. So we're seeing that recent years have increased emphasis on accountability and student outcomes. We're finding that the teacher evaluation systems, now supervisors, are using the collected data to hold teachers accountable. In some cases, rewarding high-performing teachers, and in some cases, removing those who don't meet that standard. We just moved here from Florida in January, and Florida was a merit pay state, and our pay was based on our evaluation system. So highly effective teachers were able to get performance pay. And then on the other side of the spectrum, we did have some teachers who were not meeting the standard and were dismissed from their position. And that was based on in the past decade has seen value added models, and that held true in Florida as well. And our union kind of had some conversations about the validity of value-added models, and we'll get to a little bit of that later on in the presentation. All right, so an interesting question we have is, teachers matter and make a difference, but does the teacher evaluation system? Huber and Skedsmo state that teachers and their instructional approaches are key to the effectiveness in improving schools and promoting student learning in terms of achievement. But does that necessarily translate to raising test scores because of the evaluation system? So thinking about, does the evaluation system translate to higher test scores, or does the evaluation system lead to more professional growth, more professional development, best practices for teaching, and therefore student achievement. So it is also stated that evaluation can be one of many tools to that can strengthen the quality of teaching, such as providing feedback, professional development, professional reflection, and that will therefore affect student achievement. All right, so a couple of research articles in this article. One was by Meng and Munoz, and it compares teachers' perceptions of effective teaching in China and the U.S. So it concluded that both prioritize student engagement. American teachers seem to be more oriented to order and routines, repetitive teaching for reinforcement, while they concluded Chinese teachers seem to be more focused on moralistic values and giving feedback. Some other articles of research one was by Rogman and colleagues, and this research article examines Danielson's framework rubric, and the research was done in a school in New York, and it was concluded that using the framework for evaluation purposes can be a bit problematic, and it's better suited as a tool for reflection and professional growth. Again, we're kind of seeing that overlying theme of evaluations being used as a tool for reflection, feedback, professional growth, and therefore turning and helping student achievement. So some of the problematic things that the researchers found was that it raised questions about the fairness of the evaluation as far as teacher experiences. The next research article was from Amrian, I think that's how I say it, and Beardsley and colleagues, and it examines the use of alternative achievement tests in a school district in Arizona, which aims to conclude more value added and eligible teachers in the district's growth and merit pay system. So the district that they used also used the merit pay system and the value added system. They concluded that they found using these K-12 tests for increased fairness and inclusivity was deemed inappropriate. And it also stated that growth is difficult to measure, and it may have some implications for validity and misleading results. So their results are finding as well that it is hard to put a number on growth, and the value added measures may have some validity issues and misleading results, which, the fairness of having some misleading results and issues of validity, is that truly fair in a merit pay system? All right, so we do have some challenges for research and policy and practice. And so they're finding that, the framework, is it best served as a tool for professional development or accountability, or can it be a tool for both? So Hubert and Skedsmo state that we need to have more engaging conversations across traditions and domains about practice, dealing with research and policy and practice, in principles of teacher evaluation and teaching practices. All right, so we have come to the end of the presentation, and in conclusion, we're finding that the overlying idea of, do we need to have an evaluation system that is both having that accountability piece and, providing feedback for teachers to professionally grow and have that continuous growth model. It can be tough. So Huber and Skedsmo argue that there needs to be an increased awareness and conversation for the selection of an evaluation tool. And combining too many purposes of the evaluation tool might diminish the likelihood of achieving them. So thank you so much for watching and listening to my presentation about teacher evaluation. And again, if you could email me the feedback form, that would be fantastic. And I know you can't really see it very well, but the link for my email address is right here. And thank you again.